Did you hear about the con man who posed as a cruise captain that duped a bunch of people into giving him 272,000 pounds, British pounds? Well, he has to pay that money back, but he can only pay back part of it, and wait till you hear how much he's actually going to pay back. Got that, plus I'm getting ready to embark on the most intense cruise I have ever been on in my life, and it's Memorial Day. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I am your host, Tony. Welcome to the show. Let's talk about everything going on in cruising. Let's start the show off today with a acknowledgement of Memorial Day. Memorial Day is the holiday in the United States that we take time to remember those who gave their life in military service. This is a day of remembrance, and so we remember those who sacrificed and gave all for the military here in the United States for the freedom of others. We appreciate their service. And for those that are still with us, veterans, those that are serving now, we also thank you for your service. But we remember those who lost their lives. Now let's talk about the con man who posed as a cruise captain to swindle his acquaintances out of money. The fraudster's name is Jody Oliver, a 45-year-old man from the UK who's been involved in all kinds of frauds. But his latest fraud is that he would represent himself as a cruise captain for P&O Cruise Line. And he did most of this huckstering and frauding and swindling from his base of operations, the Alma Inn pub in Newport in the UK. Basically what would happen is Jody Oliver would make friends with folks. He would show up at the pub in his uniform with paperwork, and he would talk about cruising with other people there in the pub, gaining their trust. And eventually he started offering free cruises to his acquaintances. And then from free cruises, he started selling cruises to other people there at the pub. At the time of his conviction, it was determined that he had swindled his victims out of 272,000 pounds. He was given a 6-year sentence in prison, and then it was evaluated how much assets he had to pay back his victims, and he has total assets of 375 pounds. 307. So to put it in the U.S. vernacular, imagine if you swindled folks out of $272,000, and when it came time to pay them back, the only thing you had to show for yourself was $375, and then that would be split up amongst your victims. Now, I would think that these levies of fines, the $272,000 that needs to be paid back, I think that would transcend his time in jail. So hopefully it's not like, oh, hey, I only had 375 pounds. This is all you get. So hopefully they'll continue to try to get money from this guy. But again, this doesn't sound like the kind of guy that has, this huge debt laying on top of him that he's going to go out and get like real work so that he can pay people back. In the defense that he put forth through his lawyer, essentially he said that he had gotten into $130,000 worth of gambling debt and his life was spiraling out of control. And the only way that he could come back from it was to, con these people. However, this isn't the first time he has conned folks. He conned a race car driver into believing that Coca-Cola was going to give him a 3 million pound advertising deal. So at least for the next 6 years, this guy's going to be locked up, and hopefully he will be notorious enough and recognizable enough that he will not be able to con people again. But it's an interesting thing. You're just sitting at a bar, you meet a fake cruise captain, and all of a sudden your dream vacation money gets taken away. Just looking over at the clock, 8:51 a.m. I am less than 12 hours from leaving Tampa and making my way over to the UK, to London, to Heathrow specifically. 2 days from now, June the 1st, I will be embarking the Regal Princess on what will be probably the most intense cruise itinerary I have ever participated in. My cruise on the Regal Princess will be a 12-night British Isles cruise, and dig this itinerary, it will be 2 sea days and 9 port stops. Only 2 sea days. I can barely think of many 7-day cruises that I've been on that only had 2 sea days. So it will be wall-to-wall action for the next 15 days really for me. I'll tell you the itinerary. Of course, I board the cruise ship in Southampton. The second day of the cruise, I'll be in St. Peter Port in Guernsey in the Channel Islands. Day 3, I'll be in Cork, Ireland. Day 4, Dublin, Ireland. Day 5, Liverpool, England. Day 6, Belfast in Northern Ireland. Day 7 in Glasgow, Scotland. Day 8, that's that first sea day. Day 9, I will be in Kirkwall in Scotland. Day 10, I will be back to South Queensferry, which is Edinburgh. Day 11 is the next sea day. And then day 12, Le Havre, France, which is kind of the gateway to Paris. Should be a great time. I plan to get off at every port to do some exploration there, to share some stuff with you guys. So yeah, we'll be running and gunning for the next 15 days. Have you ever had a more intensive itinerary? What's the most port days in a row that you've participated in? Leave a comment below. Thank you for checking out the show today. Hope you enjoyed it. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.